All right, everyone, this is Norval Central coming back at you with another YouTube video, and I really do appreciate all the love and support you've shown on my Instagram, my Twitter, my YouTube, everything. I really hope everyone has a blessed Sunday afternoon if you're watching this on Sunday. Let's just go ahead and get straight into the video. So, before I talk about the good news that Florida State had yesterday, I will want to talk about the strange situation that happened where three-star defensive lineman Johari Franklin actually committed to Florida State, was from the New Orleans area, of course, and it was just a lot of speculation that was happening. He committed, and there was really no legitimate offer that was put out there. There was a lot of different things that were kind of going on, and I had two prominent sources from Florida State tell me that basically they did not offer, they were not heavily recruiting him, and basically he committed kind of without the approval of the staff at that point. Now, I know there have been a little bit of social media things that he has done, that he has posted, and screenshots and everything like that. I won't quite get into that because, like I said, it's his decision, his recruitment, and I wish him nothing but the best. This is not a shot or anything like that, but he is not officially committed to Florida State, and he has even stated on Twitter later on, and I will pin that tweet at the bottom of this video as well, that his recruitment is 100% basically open back up. And, when you're thinking about stuff like that as well, Keyshawn Mashburn, a guy that's been committed to Florida State for quite some time. Florida State took a chance on him early in the process, and next thing there was a situation there where Florida State was just trying to find momentum. Fans wanted to see momentum come from this, and next thing you know, that commitment really didn't pan out the way they thought it would. And of course, it may have been a misunderstanding. Something may have happened. Maybe he just didn't know what was going on in that situation. But like I said, I wish him nothing but the best. But Florida State's looking for some really, really highly touted prospects, especially at the defensive tackle and defensive end spot. Most definitely pass rusher at this point. You got Booker Pickett Jr., Dylan Stevenson. Both are four-star prospects as well. Kamarion Franklin is another guy that's visited Florida State really, really early in the process. LJ McCray is a guy from Daytona Beach they really, really like in terms of that. Xavier Porter, he's a high three-star they really like as well. And DeAndre Robinson is also another guy at the defensive tackle spot that Odell absolutely loves. I wonder if he kind of gets back on campus a little bit more as well. But those are kind of the six prospects you kind of need to look forward to in terms of the defensive line, because Florida State's, typically going to be able to kind of get those defensive linemen in, especially with the defensive lineman talent they're probably going to be losing after this season. You think about Florida State's defensive line as it is right now, they may have five defensive linemen in a defensive set at one time because they have that much depth at the defensive line spot. I mean, Darrell Jackson, Joshua Farmer has been two guys that have been kind of going at it at the defensive tackle spot. We haven't even talked about Fabian Lovett, who is coming back for another season, Jared Verse, Patrick Payton. I mean, the list goes on and on and on and on. I know that Derek McClendon, as I talked about in my previous video, has transferred out of the program, and he's going to be looking for a new home. Wishing him nothing but the best, but looking at that defensive line, I mean, it's easy to see why he wanted to kind of get out and venture out of his own, maybe get a starting position somewhere else. I think that's kind of an important part for him. And, I wish him nothing but the best because at the end of the day, we all want to see our Florida State Seminoles and former Seminoles be successful in whatever they want to do in life. But go ahead and getting into the exciting news that Florida State got yesterday. This is on April Fool's, so a lot of people are kind of questioning the commitment. And, that previous commitment that I talked about earlier in the video was kind of looming as well. And guys were thinking, oh, is this real? Yes, this is definitely real. Tramell Jones from the Mandarin High School, Jacksonville area, has committed to Florida State, a 25 quarterback prospect. And you might be thinking to yourself, this may be a little bit too early. And of course, we all think about that because at the end of the day, we're all used to decommitments like Cedric Baxter, the running back from Edgewater High School in Orlando, Florida. Then you talk about like the Jeff Sims situation and, Chris Parson. I mean, there is a ton of quarterback prospects you can kind of point to with that, but I think this is a very, very good take for Florida State at this point. You're also looking at another Mandarin kid as well, Jamie French, who is a five-star receiver that Florida State really, really likes too. He actually visited yesterday with his teammate as well, and he has Florida State in his top three. I think this is a recruitment Florida State can definitely get involved with, especially with Tramell Jones being involved in this recruitment. I think this can be something that Florida State can kind of lean their hats on at this point. And I think Florida State can really get into the door with everything. I mean, DJ Hartline is another guy, or Hardison, excuse me, that has committed to the program a while back. So now Florida State has two commitments in the 25 class. And I think this is something special that Mike Norvell can continue to build upon. I know they want to build upon the 24 class first, but you need to get those 25 guys in. And The difference between this year and the years past before, Florida State's really developing for the future and being able to sell wins at this point. Now, if Florida State goes out and let's just say, for example, they won 10 games last year. They're going to win 10 games this year, 11 games or 12 games, or even go to the playoff at that point. That can be able to generate stability. Continuity in the coaching staff is very important as well. You're seeing guys like Odell still being in the program. Maybe he's there for 2, 3 more years, there for 6. Mike still the head coach at Florida State. I think that plays a huge factor, especially when your rivals in Florida and Miami are kind of struggling with some coaching staff changes. And let's not forget, Miami's only got one commit in the 24 class. That is something that definitely needs to be talked about because when you're looking at guys that are looking around and everything and seeing how they can generate momentum, especially with Miami having a losing season and Florida finishing with a losing season as well in their bowl game, that's just something else to me you have to really consider. And can Florida State be able to generate more and more momentum because they're everybody's dark horse at the end of the day? I think Tramell Jones understood that. He loves Florida State at that point. Florida State was kind of that excitement factor. I've talked about it in many videos before. Mike Norvell is a bundle of joy, especially on these visits and everything. He wants to make kids feel welcome. I think that's exactly what he did with Tramell Jones there at that fact. And I hope they are able to get Jamie French as well. I think that is a talented prospect they can kind of generate their hats on at that point. And I'm really excited to see how Florida State ends the 24 recruiting class and then steps into the future of 25. And I think that can be a really, really good building block, especially with Jordan Travis leaving the program after this year. You got Luke Kromenhawk, you got AJ Duffy, you got Tate Rodemaker. You got a lot of quarterbacks that are coming into this program that are being successful. And I think you just have to understand that all of these guys are trying to compete at a high level. Can they be able to do that? I think that's the biggest question now going forward there. And you also got Brock Glenn, who I forgot to mention as well. But there's so many quarterback talents, prospects in this. And I think this is going to be a great opportunity for Tony Tokarts and also for Mike Norvell to be successful in the recruiting class. But I really appreciate all the love and support. Please be sure to hit the like button. Let's try to get this video to 60 likes. We'll just try for a pretty big goal there. And also be sure to subscribe to the channel. It is completely free. I try to put out as much Florida State content as I can. I do a lot more on Instagram and Twitter as well. But if you want to follow me on my YouTube account as well, I'm going to try to put out as much content as I can, possibly for all of the Florida State fans out there. We're just trying to love and have a passion for this program, and I think it's a very exciting time for Florida State fans to get involved. So I really appreciate all the love and support, and as always, go Noles.